The horizon? Stable, repeatable, incorruptible. A new housing system cannot emerge overnight, and it cannot survive without intention. Guerrilla housing is not just a development model, it is a long arc of discipline, design, and protection. The next decade is the work of building a parallel housing market without allowing it to be captured by the extractive logic it was meant to replace. That means proving the model, standardizing the process, and hardening the rules before growth can dilute them. This is the path. Stabilize, repeat, and finally make the system incorruptible. This is how we build something that outlasts us. Stable. Prove the model, define the rules, and create the template. Find partners that are willing to disrupt the housing market. Complete 10 to 15 incepting projects as proof of concept. Finalize the permitted building designs that will anchor the entire ecosystem. Create legal and financial frameworks for every project type, backyard ground lease ADU clusters, small lot for sale units, community co-ops, tenant first ownership pathways. Map the path of least resistance through zoning, permitting, modular approvals, land use, and state authority. And once we find those paths, we turn them into workflows that we can deploy with precision at scale. Repeatable. Standardize the model, reduce friction, expand deployment. Refine the core designs, approvals, and delivery workflows so they can be deployed repeatedly with minimal reinvention. Use state-level approval pathways and modular production strategically to shorten timelines and reduce uncertainty. Democratize access to real estate development at an unprecedented scale. Lower the expertise threshold for participation so homeowners, small builders, cooperatives, and community-scale developers can use the system without extraordinary capital, insider knowledge, or bespoke coordination. Expand the model across more sites and jurisdictions until guerrilla housing becomes a recognizable parallel delivery track, faster, more predictable, and more repeatable than the legacy process. Adapt the system to adjacent housing types, such as assisted living and multi-generational housing. Incorruptible. Harden the rules, recirculate the value, and protect the mission. At this stage, guerrilla housing is no longer proving the model or simply repeating it, it is hardening it. The goal is not to build a system that assumes perfect actors, but one whose rules, governance, and financial structure make speculation, drift, and short-term extraction harder to reintroduce. By this point, GH operates with a self-sustaining financial engine. Revolving capital supports new housing without depending on extractive outside funding, while long-term investment structures provide continuity, transparency, and disciplined reinvestment. As more projects come online, the parallel market becomes more resilient, returns cycle into new development, templates continue improving, and residents gain meaningful, lasting stakes in the places they live. Only once the system is fully tested, predictable, and structurally stable does governance begin to decentralize. Decentralization is not the starting point, because fragile systems are easy to capture. It becomes possible only after the standards, protections, and financial rules are mature enough to defend the mission they were built to serve. At that stage, stewardship can begin shifting toward a DAO, or similarly durable governance framework, responsible for the core protocol, design standards, templates, governance rules, financial flows, and tenant protections. Guerrilla housing evolves from a founder-led effort into a long-term civic framework, a durable alternative to the traditional housing market, organized around stability, accessibility, and shared benefit.